Going to a football match in the middle of pandemic feels like an undergoing endurance test in a reality TV show. A pre-match message instructs me to arrive at Hampden Park in Glasgow 3 hours before Scotland kick off against Czech Republic. I must wear a mask at all times. I must take in all food from my micro bag into a plastic bag provided by stadium, and all the catering alert will be shut. No rancid burgers or cartons of flat Pepsi to keep me going. When I obediently turn up to stadium 3 hours early, the crowds are predictably sparse. The pub outside the ground overflowed with supporters wrapped in Scotland flag, like a tempting alternative. But when I suggest to a steward that might go get a drink ahead of the game, a look of concern crosses her kindly face. Be careful which pub you're going to, she says, double ear humming. What is she referring to? Could it be the Don's book bag A4 site that I'm clutching? I have given my spare ticket to Rear Scott, my friend Alastair, but he's from Edinburgh, so also not 100% at home in Glasgow. We decide to take the advice and skip the pub. Inside our stadium, we encounter a band with the loudest percussion I've ever seen, including a kind of The football national football team is symbol of the nation, but that is not a straightforward task at a time when national identity is so fiercely contested. The pressing issue for independence, for pressing issue for Scotland is independence. For England, it is race. National English football team has decided to take the knee before matches as a protest against racism, but each time they do it, they are booed by a significant section of their own supporters. Even the government seems uncertain about how to respond. After government seems Even the government seems uncertain about how to respond. After hesitating for a while, Boris Johnson Prime Minister condemned the booing and urged fans to get behind the team, but two members of his cabinet, Jacob Rees-Mogg and Priti Patel, defended the protesters, are not expressing racism, defended are not expressing race but condemning the Marxism of Black Lives Matter movement. Patel, put in some security, has accused players of indulging in gesturing politics. Players from the England team whose pre-game press conferences are normally confined to discussing tactics, injuries, and the atmosphere inside the camp, now being asked to wear home security. It would be natural to assume that cabinet ministers are better at politics than footballers, but the Johnson government has reason to be wary of the clashing with the England team. Last year, it went down to an ignominious defeat when it took on Marcus Rashford over the extension of free school meal for poor families. For poor families. Manchester United The Manchester United and England forward mobilized a million signatures behind the petition and forced the Johnson government to change tack. The 23-year-old Westbrook preparation for Euro 2020 defended fan who visiting team that saying that behind the petition and forced the Johnson government to change tack. The 23-year-old Westbrook preparation for Euro 2020 included a Zoom call with Barack Obama, while plenty of tourists are prepared to grumble about the work in Westbrook. None are willing to take him in public. The culture wars over football are not just happening in Britain. The multiracial Belgian team took the knee in Russia or had their opening game. They're also they also opening game. Preparation for none are willing to take while plenty of tourists are prepared to grumble about the work in Rashford, none are willing to take him in public. The cultural wars over football are not just happening in Britain. The multiracial Belgian team took the knee in Russia ahead of their opening game. They were also booed by the crowd. Doubtless the Russians also protested against Marxism. Viktor Orban, Prime Minister of Hungary, one of the host nations for 2020, defended fans who visiting team that take the knee, saying that Hungarians see the gesture as a provocation. Orban is himself a right-wing provocateur who has become a hero to the Trumpist right in America by issuing frequent warnings about the alleged dangerous Europe being flooded by Muslims. Even some moderate conservatives are uncomfortable about footballers taking the knee. One prominent thinker in Britain laments to me that football used to be a political sport, but now the national team has become a source of division. I can see what it means. This year's tournament inevitably brings back memories of Euro 96. When England folded, when England also played their games at Wembley and the whole country they seemed to get behind the team in an uncomplicated sort of way. Back then, packed the stadium, all joined the singing of the Lions. Football's coming on. Now the stadiums are largely empty and some of the home crowds are actually bringing the players. For somebody who has been to many England games, and I know that the idea that the team was never mixed up with politics or race is an illusion. England games have always attracted a substantial number of sort of hooligan far-right supporters, whose pre-game press conferences are normally confined to discussing tactics. No, running but even some organisms are right-wing provocateurs who has become a hero. The Trump is Friday make by frequent warning about the dangerous European flooded by Muslims. But even some moderate conservatives are uncomfortable with people like taking the knee. One prominent thinker in Britain laments me that football used to be a political sport, but now the national team has become a source of division. I can see what it means. This year's tournament inevitably brings back memories of Euro 96. When England also played their games at Wembley, and the whole country they seemed to get behind the team in an uncomplicated sort of way. Back then, packed the stadium, all joined the singing of the lines, football's coming on. Now the stadiums are largely empty and some of the home crowds actually bring the place. But as somebody who has been to many England games over the years, I know that the team was never mixed up with politics or race and illusion. England games, England games have always attracted a substantial number of sturdy hooligan far-right supporters, whose pre-game press conferences are normally confined to discussing tactics, injuries, and the atmosphere inside camp. And now being asked to react home secretary. Secretary. Forest, the also at the last European Football Championship in France in 2016, the ugly tradition of English football hooliganism re-emerged. Announced today or tomorrow. It's been doing it. This way. Together. What do you mean? Together. Okay, they. If you don't like, you should end. Polarized approach with the when I met with another fan. Mm. India have always attracted substantial numbers of far-right supporters whose trademark trend is no surrender to IA. At the last European Football Championship in France in 2016, the ugly tradition of English football hooliganism emerged. When I remarked another fan that I didn't particularly enjoy being caught up in a near riot, outside a bar in Marseille, I was told curtly, if you don't like it, you should stay at home and watch the game on television. Before in the 1970s, where you're paying out of payables. Payroll. In the 97 World War, I saw the most over racing that I ever witnessed in Britain. It was routine to see black plates, barked by birds and monkey noises, and the football authorities and commentators were silent about this for many years. So if the national side feel they want to make a statement about racism, it is hard to accuse them of doing plus into the political space. But now the national team has become a source of division. The politics, particularly the racial politics, have always been there. The identity issues are rather different for Scotland. Euro 2020 comes as the Scottish government is ramping up demand for a second independent referendum. This is the first major international tournament the team has qualified for since 1980, neatly fitting the narrative of national revival. Question is, we put, yeah, so that means you're paying it out of payroll. My question is, if you perplex form can. Oh, mountain. Oh, against this. Arriving in Scotland for the first game of the tournament, I find the local paper full of optimism, with coronation of the intermediate of the occasion. The Scottish government has even allowed schools that listen to allow the kids to watch the game against Czech lives. As a visiting English fan, I wonder how I feel about all this. I grew up supporting Scotland in big international tournaments. I had little options since England failed to qualify for the World Cup in 1974 and 1978. But British identity was less complicated back then. The anthem played for the Scotland side that lined up to play Brazil in 1974 was "God Save the Queen", although the recording does not show the Scottish player looking particularly delighted. Particularly delighted. Today, the crowd and team will be built on of Scotland. This story where they can still rise now and be the nation again. When Scotland qualified for the World Cup in 1973, there were more than 90,000 people inside Hampden. But today, thanks to COVID, it's a little over 9,000, far from the joyous return to the big time that has been advertised. It feels pretty black and lonely up in the stand, even if the Tartan army has been reduced to little more than a couple of battalions. They built up Love Scotland, loud enough to drown out conversation. But the team started the game with all the expected passion and stream forward, and the Captain Drew Robertson can be seen gesturing to calm down. Then the Czechs scored and the air is sucked out of the stadium. Too high? Hold on. Or you can use my after we try to spend you can use my following us. You should have using the continental condition. Hold on. At that time we tried to spend in the toilet next to hand dryer, the warmest spot in Hampden. There is hopeful chatter around that that Scotland might be able to turn this round. Early in the second half, football history is made by the text. The team center forward. There. Let me for well I give you my account password. At halftime, we tried to spend in the toilet next to hand dryer, the warmest spot in Hamden. There's hopeful chatter around the urinal that Scotland might be able to turn this round. But early in the second half, football history is made by the Czechs. The teams that his bite made. History is by the Czech. Patrick Schick, the team center forward, gets the ball on the halfway line and floats ball over the Scottish goalkeeper into the net. It is one of the most brilliant goals any of us will ever witness. The crowd is now almost totally silent apart from a tiny group of cheering Czechs on the other side of the stadium, and a group of children near me who continue happily shouting for Scotland, while the other round was frozen in horror. After the match, Alastair reminds me that Scottish fans are used to bitter disappointment, making the national football team of the symbol of nation a double-edged sword. But we imagine them scoring wonderful goals and celebrating the fun. But what if your goalkeeper got floundering flat on his back and tangled them in the net? Euro 2020 has already delivered humbling setback for two football match puppets leader. Orban gave permission for a capacity crowd to attend Hungary's opening games in Budapest against Portugal, only to see the nation side lose 3-0, except Erdogan, president of Turkey, traveled to Azerbaijan and sat in a place of honor next to Azerbaijan, from where he was able to see Turkey go down to a 2-2 defeat against Wales. England fans also have a habit disappoint their most ardent fan. The side often portrays as the embodiment of what we like to believe are national characteristics: courage, calmness under pressure. In fact, as a recent piece by John Lear in The Guardian pointed out, England are uniquely bad at holding a lead in a tournament. The numbers seem to suggest they might even be bottlers, and that all heresy, the French and Italians are much better at holding their nerve when they take a lead. If Gareth Southgate, the England manager, can somehow break this cycle and turn England into winning outfit, he will inadvertently provide a huge boost to Johnson government that is desperate for symbol of the success of Brexit Britain. But Southgate has subtly but unmistakably positioned himself to the left of the government on taking the knee. It leads a multiracial team and has recurrently defended their right to make statement other than football. It has become accepted wisdom in Britain that culture wars always work better for the right than the left. But football may be an exception. All poll taken across Europe before 2020 showed 54% of English football fans supported taking the knee, with 39% opposed. If the England keep winning, the number in favor may rise along with the team's popularity. But once the right may find itself on the wrong end of a culture war for the duration of Euro 2020, I will care much less about who wins the culture war than who wins the tournament. For Scotland, Euro 2020 began with a deflating defeat. The England team disappointed their fans almost as reliably as the Scots, just slightly later in the day. On the other hand, this is a weird tournament. It's taking place in the middle of pandemic. The stadiums are quarter full and England are playing half decently. I am allowing myself to for the weirdest outcome of the lot. An England victory.